There we go. All right, I'm going to present my screen. The assignment has already posted. I could see that a lot of you guys had already gotten it opened. Yeah. Okay.
What do you notice about Earth's axis? I know, right?
Okay, can we get started now?
Yeah. Yes, we can.
Okay. So, over in Google Classroom, you should have a new science assignment that's called Day and Night. So let's go ahead and head over there. Get it opened up. It is a pretty short one. There's only 2 slides, so it won't take us too long. So Day and Night, go ahead and get those Google Slides opened, please. Oh, I accidentally moved it. Hang on. Go back. There we go. Okay. All right. So go ahead and get that assignment opened. Day and Night for science. Shouldn't take us too long, like I said, like 8 times. Okay, so go ahead and get it opened up, please. All right. I'm going to zoom in. 100 is good?
Yeah.
Oh, 100 is perfect. All right, so I'm going to zoom into 100 just so that it's nice and big. We will read this together, and then you guys are probably going to do a lot of this on your own. I'll help you out with 1 or 2 things, but this is one of the graded assignments, so I do want to have you guys work on a lot of this on your own for today. So keep that in mind. Pay attention while we go over it. So let's go ahead and get started. Day and Night. We're going to read it together, and then those questions will be kind of an on your own thing. So it says, what causes days and nights? Have you ever wondered why we have days and nights? Why do we get more sunlight during certain parts of the day versus during the night? It all comes down to the Earth's positioning to the sun. So it involves the revolution of the sun. Sorry, not what I meant, the rotation of the sun. The Earth spins on an axis very quickly. Scientists have figured out that the Earth moves at a speed of 1,600 kilometers per hour. So that means it does a full rotation every 23 hours and 56 minutes. So that's where we get our 1 day. As the Earth rotates on its axis, the side that faces the sun experiences daylight. Does that make sense? When we are facing the sun, we get daylight. When we are not facing the sun, we have nighttime, right? Approximately 12 hours later, that same side will be facing away from the sun, which means it will be dark. That is why we have different time zones, because it is light in China while it's dark in Canada. To be more specific, Dubai, United Arab Emirates, is exactly 12 hours ahead of Vancouver, Canada. That means that when it is midnight in Dubai, it is noon in Vancouver. So they're directly across the Earth from each other, right? And then, did you know? Every location on Earth experiences a different amount of sunlight. Places near the equator receive approximately 12 hours of sunlight each day throughout the year. However, places near the poles, so the top of the Earth and the bottom of the Earth, sometimes can experience 24 hours of sunlight or 24 hours of darkness, depending on the season. Have you guys ever heard of how in Alaska the nights are really, really, really long?
Yeah.
Anybody ever heard of that?
And the sun doesn't come up till like 10 o'clock.
Yes. So that's because when you look at a map, Alaska is not really that close to the United States, right? It's actually kind of up along Canada, right? It's kind of near Canada, like way up there, and closer to the top of the globe. So if we're looking at the globe, Canada is more near the North Pole than anything, right? Because it's that close to the North Pole, it experiences longer days during certain times of the year or longer nights during other times of the year. Just because it's closer to a pole versus the equator, which is directly in the middle of the Earth. So Arizona is a lot closer to the equator, so we get a normal hour of sunlight, right? We get our 10 to 12 hours of sunlight, like normal, right? So we got a couple questions that we're going to do here that I'm going to have you guys do on your own. This is more of a how you answer it. It's not necessarily a right or wrong, especially number 1. It says, what do you notice about the Earth's axis? So answer that one, please. Number 2, why do we have days and nights? Explain that. And then there's a couple of true or false questions. Number 1, we have days and nights due to the Earth's positioning to the sun. Number 2, the Earth spins 1,500 kilometers per hour. Number 3, the Earth does one full rotation every 24 hours. Number 4, when a location on Earth is facing the sun, it is daytime. And number 5, some places on Earth don't receive any daylight for periods of time. So, you have 7 questions to do there. Number 1 and 2, use complete sentences, please. I'm going to give you guys about 10 minutes. Just be working on that. If you finish early, just sit tight. But be working on slide number 1, please, while we walk around and help. If you need help online, give me a shout. Or yeah, do the raise hand thing. That's kind of cool too. Alrighty, so be working on slide number 1. Oh, Yoshi.
Miss Jones? Some people are raising their hand.
I know, I was going to her right now, thank you. I said it's kind of like, so you can put it's big. Is the Earth's axis big though? Is it even a real actual thing that runs through the Earth? Yeah, it's like a corn dog. It's a corn dog by the shape. Yes, it is. It's imaginary. It's not even a real line that goes through. It looks like a glue stick. What? Yeah, that's it. I just think, it can. Yeah. It's fun, everyone's free. She doesn't know. Never heard of it.
Miss Jones?
Yes, Charlie.
What is slide 2 about?
We're going to go over slide 2. It's a little bit more complicated. So if you're done, just sit tight for a few minutes, okay?
Okay.
Which turn is left? Yep. As we will go over the second slide in a second. Be patient for once, please. It's not even a real thing, so no.
So it's imaginary.
It's imaginary. The axis is imaginary.
It's imaginary.
Sure.
Yes.
But you cannot say that it's big because it's not a real thing that goes through the earth.
It's just new. And then they put all the other parts in it. There's one more.
Couple more minutes on this.
I just feel imaginary.
Why don't you try trying it and then go check what's on the You don't have to ask me if it's right every time. You're probably right. Okay, we're gonna do about 2 more minutes.
I'm
please.
done.
All right, we're gonna do about 2 more minutes for everybody else who's focused.
First page.
That's fine. We'll do the second one kind of together. Yes, you pick if it's true or false. The word or means you have to choose one or the other. Yeah. No, you cannot choose or. There's not even an or on there. All right. Okay, focus up. We're gonna move on to the next page. If you're not done with this first one, that's okay. You'll have time after it to keep working. I'm just gonna show you guys how to do the second page, okay? So on page number 2, we have some directions that says, first of all, what time is it in different parts of the world? So different places on Earth experience sunlight during different times. In British Columbia, it may be midnight and pitch black outside, but somewhere else in the world, it is midday and light outside. Do some research to determine what time it is in other regions around the world. So, I know that this says British Columbia, right, on the side over here? Yes? Oh, well, those of you in class can't see. There you go. So it says British Columbia over here, but I think that we should use Winslow time. I don't think we should really change away from that. So, no, just leave it as is. I'm gonna put in the chat a website that's a time converter so that we can plug in the time and see where it is at different times. You can also just type in timezoneconverter.com. So like you can type it in if you need to, but I put it in the chat. So you can head over to the chat, or if you're in class, log in. So you can just click on it. But when you get there, it looks like this. Okay? I don't know why that would be.
I'm gonna change the time.
Maybe just try. Reloading it.
56. 56 divided by 9.
Okay. So, those of you in class need to stop talking, please. Getting too much. Focus, please. What we're going to do is take the time. It says, on the first one, it says 3 a.m. We are going to put it in our time zone converter. So this one says 2:48 a.m. I'm going to change it to 3 a.m. local time. So that's us here in Winslow. It's going to go to whatever our time is. And then what we need to do is figure out what time it would be at 3 a.m. our time, what time it is in London, England. So where it says San Francisco, you click on it and you start typing in London. London, United Kingdom is the same thing as London, England. So you click on it. If it's, that seems wrong. Seems like it's too far.
Mine says 10 a.m.
Yeah, that sounds more. Oh, there we go.
You know there's a country called Djibouti?
I did know that, yes.
Oh, they're having us for 5 hours? Hey, bro, where Charlie is.
I don't know why this key isn't working.
Oh, wait, you know?
Okay, well, you know what? If you have to Google it a different way, do so. But in London, so 3 a.m. local time to London, England. I think I spelled that wrong. I did. That means that it's 10 a.m. If it's 3 a.m. in Winslow, it's 10 a.m. in the United Kingdom. I know you did. I'm just trying to show it on the thing. Stop it. I knew you were right. I was just trying to show it on here because it wasn't working on my converter. Hey. So when you find the time, you would write it here, 10 a.m. in England. And then you're going to explain the difference. You can talk about how far ahead it is. So how far ahead would that be? 7 hours ahead. You can talk about not the weather, the time of day. So if it's 3 a.m. here, is it light or dark?
Light.
Okay, think about that again. If it's 3 a.m., 3 in the morning, is it light or dark outside? Dark. So it's dark here. And then if it's 10 a.m. in London, do you think it's dark or light there?
Right.
Probably light there. Okay? So that's the two things that I want you to do. Find the correct time. And then explain if you think it's going to be dark or light, how far ahead or behind the other people are of us. Does that make some sense on this page?
Can we put abbreviated hours?
Yeah, you can abbreviate it. If this website isn't working, because that is not the correct time translation, just Google it like I did, and it should be better. Like 3 a.m. local time to wherever it wants you to go. The next one says 9 a.m. in Beijing. What time would that be in Beijing? I probably wouldn't use this converter. I don't know why it wasn't working. That was the assumption, yeah. I wouldn't. It didn't seem to work correctly, so I would just Google it. Do a little bit of research. You guys know how to use Google. I watch you guys do it all the time on GoGuardian. So just type in 9 a.m. local time is what time in Beijing, China, and it'll tell you. Okay, so go ahead and be working on those two slides. That's 9 a.m. local time is what time in Beijing, China. Okay, you guys can just be working on this. Those are the two things that we're doing today, the first slide and the second slide. Those of you that are online, as you finish it up, turn it in and you can head out. If you are here in person and you finish it up, turn it in and work on something educational. Read a book, go on Prodigy, finish your missing work. Same with you online, finish your missing work because that's a big deal. Yoshi. Yes. All right, I'm gonna stop our recording though because we don't need to record all of this while you guys are working.